in my line of work, I get, which is teaching about the plant oils and butters, any kind of lipid from a plant. I come across a lot of questions from people wanting to make skincare, and why wouldn't we? It's such a wonderful process to take care of ourselves and make our own skincare with very basic and wonderful ingredients. Well, tallow has become incredibly popular in the skincare world, and what I wanted to share with you today are some of the possibilities of using tallow, which is not that different from here. I have a little few props. So here is a little tallow, soft, kind of a soft butter, and this is cocoa butter, which is a hard butter and a plant butter. So we have animal and plant, and they work similarly. And I just want to kind of do a little slideshow for you. Talk about tallow, how popular it's become. It's just very much like a saturated butter, like the cocoa butter I just showed you, but it is very soft and pliable. It can be melted and mixed with oils, or it can be whipped with oils. And the fact that generally it's soft, although there's many ranges of melting points, it can be melted and whipped together. But let's talk a bit about the types of oils you can use with it in order to enhance its presence in your formula. Maybe some people are worried that it is too oily feeling. Lots of people don't like oils on their skin. I happen to love it. You put a good oil on your skin and wait a while. Maybe have a cup of coffee, and by the time you're done, the oil has soaked in, if it's the right oil for your skin, and it's protected. But so let's talk about oils that might help prevent the oily feeling, which is camellia is a great one. Camellia comes from the Camellia sinensis plant. Camellia sinensis is where we get green and black teas. There are tannins in the tea that create the dry feel. And so if we mix camellia or some of these other oils with tallow, it's going to reduce the oily feeling on the skin. Hazelnut is similar. Ever eat kind of raw hazelnuts? Your mouth puckers, and that's this dry feeling of the tannins. Grapeseed, another dry oil. Jojoba, rice bran oil, and there's others, but that's just a place to get started. So mature skin. We don't stay young forever. And I've read lots of accounts of people who have mature skin, and tallow has been able to help it kind of banish the incredible dryness that can happen as we get older and our skin doesn't produce as much oil as when we were younger. So when we can mix the tallow, which is great for very dry skin, with some of the oils that are great for mature skin, we can get a kind of a duo or a trio if we want to mix more than one oil and have a wonderful balm for the skin. Pomegranate is kind of the top on my list for talking about mature skin. It has it's fascinating oil. I can't go into it here. It's a huge subject, but pomegranate is a very thick feeling oil. If you get a small amount, mix that with tallow, and your grandmother, your mother, yourself is going to love what you come up with. Rosehip seed oil is wonderful for nourishing and healing the skin. Meadow foam seed oil has wonderful antioxidant properties and will help any oxidation in your formula. Jojoba oil. Again, jojoba is a wonderful oil for lots of different applications. And argan is kind of one that is great for very dry skin again. So those are a few more examples. And then healing balms. Lots of herbalists mix beeswax and infused oils with Well, with butters, I mean, you can mix tallow in there. You could mix cocoa butter or mango butter. But calendula infused oil is probably at the top of my list of healing balms. You take calendula petals and soak them in oil for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks max, and when you're done, you pulled all the healing properties out of the calendula into your oil, and that's something you can use. And then some oils are just naturally very kind of therapeutic. They've got lots of healing properties. Andaroba is one. It's a relative of neem. If you've ever tried neem oil, it can be very smelly. It has lots of scent. Andaroba is a cousin, and it doesn't have the strong smell. And then of neem. Some people love neem, which is wonderful. I mean, everybody, there's lots of oils and lots of people to try. So tamano oil, this is an oil from the Pacific Basin. Has a long history of healing lots of different types of skin, nervous system problems, kind of associated with the skin. That's a wonderful oil. And that too can be mixed with your tallow and carange. That's an unusual oil. It's a legume, but it has interesting healing properties, worth mixing into a balm. And then finally, this is just a suggestion for tallow in shapes. So using, those silicone molds that people use for making chocolates or soaps. You can get the silicone molds from soap suppliers and cookware stores, and you can make chocolates. But anyway, what I like to do is make lotion bars. Lotion bars are just such an easy recipe. 1/3 of a wax. It can be beeswax or a plant wax. 1/3 of a butter, and that can be tallow, cocoa butter, mango butter, or kind of a mixture, but 1/3 of the total. And then 1/3 liquid oil. And you could use any of the oils we talked about right before this slide, and melt them all together and pour them into a silicone mold. Be sure it cools completely. It might even be worthwhile to put the mold on a tray into the refrigerator or the freezer. And then when it is fully cooled, then you can just pop out the shapes, and they look wonderful. This one was it's got in a cookware store, and it has a little bit of alkanet root to make that wonderful red color. Lots of possibilities. If you want to do more with making products from waxes and tallow and butters and oils, we have a toolbox that is quite accessible, has a broad range of information on the oils, a database, recipes, ways of working, techniques, just below this video. So check it out.